Bills Focus is presented by Atwall Eye Care, the official LASIK provider of the Buffalo Bills.
Have you ever had the experience of not having a first-round pick?
Unfortunately, well, fortunately, I say I haven't, and it was a different experience. But you always try to prepare yourself like you do have one, because you just never know what can come across as an opportunity to get back in the first. So we prepared like we had one, and followed the board and the draft just in case something came up where we'd have to jump in and be ready to make a pick.
It's a waiting game. You know, you try to make some moves if you can. But if you don't have much ammo, you can't do anything. You just got to sit back and let it play out. We were so comfortable picking where we were picking anyway. Even with what we did in free agency, it was like a first-round pick, all the guys we acquired. So we were comfortable sitting where we were.
Were there any kind of discussions about making a move in the first round?
No, nothing serious. After day one, we obviously talked to the scouts and we set the board with them. And then after the first day of the draft, myself, Kelvin Fisher, and Jim Monos, we set the stack of how we would take these players, being if we had the first pick in the second round.
How much discussion was there about picking Ronald Darby in the second round?
Not much. We were comfortable with him the whole time. There was some talks going on trade-wise, but he was always going to be our guy if he was there.
It's got to be satisfying to get the guy at the top of your draft board.
That's a dream. A lot of times that doesn't happen. You always have a guy that's at the top, and he may not be there when you pick, but for us to have it fall that way and he'd be the top guy on our board, we were really excited.
With the 50th pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, we, the Buffalo Bills, select Ronald Darby, defensive back, Florida State.
Almost 11 months of work goes into this, and if you don't trust and prepare and go with your feelings on a player and just abandon it, that's when you have a propensity to make a mistake.
In the third round, Jim Oberdorf took a couple of calls. Was there any consideration of trading down?
No, once again, we talk, we listen, have those discussions, but if you want the guy, you got to take him.
With the 81st pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select John Miller, guard, Louisville.
We kind of had a feeling he might get to us there in the third round. We knew he'd be in that range, and we really think he has a shot to come in and compete to start right away, so we were pretty excited about that.
That's the essence of the draft. Always fielding calls, getting an idea of what people are thinking, and out of those calls, 99% of those don't come to fruition.
Day three, that's really the important day, isn't it, to meet with the scouts and resetting where you're at?
We always, on day three, have the scouts send us one player that they think could make our team or the one that they would want on our team. So we like to pick their brains, and then we'll use that as closer to the draft choice comes, and then see where we are, not only on the board, but more with the needs as well.
Round four now, you guys don't have a pick, but there were talks, right, about moving up into the fourth for a particular player?
We had a guy that was sticking out on the board way up there, and where we ranked him, it warranted us trying to, as much as possible and do whatever we can to try to get in the fourth round and get it pick this player, but unfortunately it did not happen.
What is it about these Florida State guys?
Well, you look at it, they've lost one game in the last 2 years and won a national championship. So they come from a winning program and they got excellent football players. So we don't limit ourselves, and we didn't just say, hey, let's pick Florida State players, but they just happen to have a plethora of good players coming out the last couple of years.
There never seemed like there was much debate at the table. It really seemed like a well-oiled machine up there.
That's just how we set it up. And I tell everybody says, oh, is it hectic in the draft room? The hectic part is when you're setting the draft board in February with the scouts, and when you're stacking the players the night before the day of the draft, and then the discussion with the ownership and the coach. So all the debate is out of the way once the clock starts, and we just sit back and just let it fall to us, and we're prepared for any and every situation.
We don't ever want to be in, we call it like chaos. It's just going to be nice and calm, do our work, be prepared, and it should never be a scramble.
I think the first two picks are guys that will contribute and push the start early, and may even start, especially Miller. The back end are what we call tremendous value picks, guys that, again, will be able to contribute on special teams and push the starters ahead and add depth. All in all, it wasn't a sexy draft, but we're looking to be a team where we're always drafting late in the first round, and we're not going to be the sexy splash picks top 10. We've done that enough. Let's be sexy on Sundays in the fall.